Play for the leave. If you played some pool, you don't play for the shot, you play for the shot after the shot. You got to trust yourself to be able to sink that ball. So trust yourself and focus on the next shot, right? Play for the leave. What does that mean? Look, let's make January a big month. Hey, we're gonna do all this stuff in December. Let's make January big. Let's plan our buyer's second purchase. You're always talking about their first purchase. No. Talk about their second purchase. We're going to discuss here 5 messages which get used to make 9 touch points. We'll use 3 different coupon types and we'll have 4 landing pages. There's going to be some tables on this one to talk through. Why don't we just get into it, yeah?
Creative minds, math-obsessed media buyers. To ship more winning ads, you need both worlds working together. Introducing Thumbstop, the weekly newsletter by Motion that covers the art and the science of creating winning Meta, TikTok, and YouTube ads. Every Sunday, you'll learn about the science. Think about CAC and contribution margin spreadsheet tutorials, advanced ad analysis techniques, and interviews with elite media buyers. You'll build your analytical skills every week. The art. Creative cheat codes, winning TikTok ad formats, interviews with creative directors. You'll get practical ideas to ship winning ads faster and new ways to fix the brand performance divide. Subscribe at motionapp.com/thumbstop. It's all killer, no filler. I'm Eric. I'm here with Jordan. Jordan, just catch us up with exactly where we're at in our retention trilogy that we're on part 3 of today.
Okay. Good. So first, our first time we got together was to discuss measurement framework, and the kind of the reasoning behind this measurement framework is if your whole e-commerce strategy was drive a first purchase as quickly as possible and then drive a second purchase as quickly as possible, and that was your whole strategy and everything revolved around that, and you ignored everything else, you'd do awesome, right? So we wanted to talk about your time to buy, your time to repurchase, and your overall purchase rate, and how different things can move those around, right? How adding some messages that add a lot of value can perhaps increase your purchase rate, although it might decrease your time to repurchase because you're not maybe going with that really heavy coupon right away. You're actually trying to add some value and do the real marketing, do the real work. Those kinds of things. So we were just discussing the measurement framework. I recommend everyone go back and check out that measurement framework. It has instructions on how to install it on Klaviyo. Yeah.
Just how to make the signal clear as well, right? So you're removing the incidental purchases or the things that aren't really indicative of what you're trying to figure out.
Yeah. So there was a lot. I mean, there's a lot in that. I think it was a half-hour talk. So there's a bunch of noise. People who they fill out the form, get their 10% coupon or whatever it is, buy right then and there. Did they really go through your pre-purchase experience? Not really. They just wanted the coupon. It's actually just a really good ads address. It's good work by your ads team. And so you want to give credit to your ads team in that case. And so we actually pull those out and we look at people who actually went through the experience, for instance.
100%.
Yeah, things like that. So a really clean, very clean way to compare quarter to quarter, month to month. Are we doing a better job at closing more of the business that comes in or more of the opportunities that come in and closing it faster? And when you clean out all the noise, all the different channels, all the things that can affect it, you've got one team, all those touch points are in one team. How is that team doing? And that's a leading indicator for how your business is going to change in the coming months. So you'll notice a lot, like reading the tea leaves there, that so you can react quickly.
100%.
Yeah.
So today we are now because we talked about our stats. We talked about our
pre-purchase experience.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And now we're talking about our post-purchase experience today.
Yeah, and with a big part of this in the pre-purchase was because everybody's pre-purchase is like, here's your coupon, please buy. So, okay, well, let's add some value. Let's do some real marketing and talk about how to fit that in there. So this one as well, it's how to do some real marketing, how to add some value. But in this one, it definitely some coupon discussion in here because you want repeat buyers.
Yeah.
So what you want is to tell someone who just bought, hey, I tell you what, spend again right now, and you're going to get the best deal you're ever going to get from me, right? That's the message. Spend again right now. And when you do that, you drive a bunch of revenue from that. It just drives domain revenue. And because you've got that boost of just general domain revenue from this, you also don't need to do as many blanket discounts. We've talked about this, where you just kind of like email your whole list some offer, and then the list assumes, hey, everything's kind of always on sale. I'm just going to get these coupons. I'll just wait till a deal comes through. If it's a focused lifecycle message, and it's fairly clear, it's pretty clear to a user, hey, I just bought and I'm getting this discount and there's a 14-day limit on it. It's like, oh, this is special. I have to use this right now. That's the kind of situation you want from your discounts. So you focus them on lifecycle messages that trigger. And you get that second purchase. So someone's a repeat buyer right away. Again, fast first purchase, fast second purchase. Everything further down your P&L just starts improving.
And so you're talking about they've just bought something. This is like within what sort of time frame are we talking about?
Within a month.
Within a month, okay.
Make sure they bought again. Get them to spend again in a month, right?
Yeah.
So what the important part of that is we need to give enough time for the item to arrive. Hey, actually, we should just get into it. Why don't we just get into it? Yeah.
Get into it. Yeah. I hear you got some new papers today.
Yeah. So
guys, go to YouTube if you want to see the flashcards. If you haven't, go to the YouTube channel. Subscribe. It's the gentleman's agreement, like they do on My First Million. You got to go subscribe to YouTube to see these amazing flashcards.
Yeah, definitely. So look at play for the leave. If you played some pool, you don't play for that shot. You play for the shot after the shot. You got to trust yourself to be able to sink that ball. So trust yourself and focus on the next shot, right? Play for the leave. And what does that mean? Look, let's make January a big month. Hey, we're going to do all this stuff in December. Let's make January big. Let's plan our buyer's second purchase. What you're always talking about their first purchase. No. Talk about their second purchase, right? So we're going to discuss here 5 messages which get used to make 9 touch points. We're always trying to be economical. We're always trying to repurpose content wherever we can. So 5 messages that create 9 touch points. We'll use 3 different coupon types, and we'll have 4 landing pages. Landing pages are not necessary, but you'll see that there's a way that they kind of fit into the mix if you put together some custom destinations for your users. There's going to be some tables on this one to talk through. So let's just talk through kind of just getting it organized in our minds first, okay? We've got your product your product arrival max date. So we're interested in creating an experience when the product has arrived. If you want to send an email right away that says thank you and it's just got a picture of people hugging, that's totally fine, right? It's a lot of work goes into that email and there's no financial outcome. So I personally just say, hey, let's just let transactional emails do what transactional emails should do and focus on adding that value here, okay? So product arrival max date, like plus or minus 2 days. Honestly, some people say make sure it's in their inbox a couple days before so that they know they've got it. Some people say wait a couple days after so they don't ignore it. I don't know. You can test that if you want. But 2 days before or after, we send our first message. And it's about positive first use. So this is product-focused messaging. You've got a product. You can build a mental model around this for services as well, but maybe you got to think about it a bit differently. Get them to use that product in a positive way. It's like the whole first 5 minutes mindset, right? So they got it and they go, oh yeah, I've got that email. And all the FAQs, all the things, turn this thing this way, right? All that stuff. Really take care of that on this message.
The gifts of people using it kind of thing. I think that could be great in different settings, lifestyle shots.
Or videos on the landing pages we're going to discuss.
Videos on the landing,
right?
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. And so this one, that positive first use, that's essential. We could do a whole talk about, how the first 5 minutes, how a positive first 5 minutes increases years worth of improved activity and share of wallet and things like that from users. But let's just
I
say
smell a new trilogy.
yeah, maybe. So, but let's make that first 5 minutes amazing is the purpose of this. So what should this message be? It should be big and beautiful. This is a big and beautiful message. Campaigns can be brief. They're about driving traffic. They're about picking up pennies. This one's big and beautiful. I mean, you could put, if this was the message that you put the most effort into in your whole email program, you'd probably be winning, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now also, what it does is it increases engagement on the next email, right? We're playing for the leave. This email was so great because they're so into it. They just bought. In fact, a good idea is to not stuff a bunch of garbage in their inbox. The recommendation is, if this is like, say, 30 days, right? And by the way, you're going to move these dates around. This is just like 2, 14, 30. Of course, if you do testing, you'll find that there's better arrangements for this. But for this period of time, block them from your campaigns. Don't stuff their inbox with garbage, or they're not going to get this because they're stoked. They just bought. They're looking forward to devouring content.
Yeah.
So make sure the content they devour is the
Don't
good
damper
stuff.
their stoke, you know?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't damper their stoke, bro. So this will increase engagement on email too,
Yeah.
where we actually start lighting into some discounts, right? And also, hey, this is about the experience. Call it for some UGC. Ask someone to go in and give reviews, 5 stars, etc. Email 2. Now we wait in a couple weeks or whatever, right? And so we're going to push a strategic second purchase. We'll talk about that in a second. But this is the thing you want them to buy, right? It's either a huge item that, like a big seller, or maybe it's a big margin item. In fact, a strategic decision that you make, and if you're smart, you test back and forth, is what makes sense. Try to sell the item with the largest individual margin, or the item with the largest aggregate margin. Largest aggregate margin is like one of your whale items. Largest individual margin is like your premium stock. And which one works the best, you can only figure out through testing. But basically, you figure that out, and you push the thing you want them to buy. And then finally, day 30, this is your last chance. And again, you're going to move that date around, but you're going to just push any second purchase. So we're going to create a discount that will just, maybe a shopping cart minimum or something like that, above $200, whatever it is. Just get any kind of second purchase, right, off that one.
Where would your strategy that you spoke about before the trilogy about sort of recreating sort of the Amazon experience, or by sort of exposing people to more of your products? Are those the campaigns you'd be taking people out of while they're in this sequence?
Yeah, so that's exactly right. They would be two separate things. In fact, I said quarantine people from general messages. So the way I think about this is, if someone's going to receive a message only once, put great thought into that message, pick the right things to say. If someone's going to receive a message multiple times, like those continuation messages, someone might receive one of those messages 5 or 6 times over their whole life with you, if their life was a couple of years, right? Or an abandoned browse, where anytime they click on a product and walk away, they're gonna get that message again. So you want it full of dynamic content, you want it full of recommendations. The thing about a recommendations block is it will show a product that person's interested in, but it's not going to give any product marketing on that product. So all the product marketing on that email has to be very general. The way that we are stitching, right?
Yeah.
But not like this product. But these messages, they're going to receive this once. I mean, some of these, they might receive it more than once if they continue purchasing. We'll see when we get to the product segmentation part. But think about someone getting this message once, because most of your first-time buyers don't buy a second time. So most people are going to get this message once. And if they get it twice, hallelujah. So we're going to put a lot of thought into it. We're going to think very carefully about what we say, and we're going to cut away the noise to make sure that they do get these messages. Yeah.
I have one question. Can you build sequences that would just be like, hey, it's your second purchase, rather than having them re-trigger into the same thing? Can you build sequences where you recognize when someone's made a second purchase or so on,
Or
and you
third
treat them
purchase.
differently, or third or fourth, or is that recommended? Can you do that with privacy laws?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah,
Okay.
you can call out how often someone's purchased with you. They have a relationship with you. But a very important concept for email marketing and outbound in general is scope and scale. So you want your messages to have a wide scope, meaning they apply in as many situations as possible, and a wide scale, meaning they'll hit as many people as possible. So when you start like discreetly planning out the third purchase messaging, you now got an audience like this. And so
And a
when you
branch and a decisioning branch that goes out like that, right?
you're not going to get you're not going to get the value out of that.
But aren't we in the era of that? Eventually, like, aren't with AI and things, aren't we going to get there? Would you give me that?
I will tell. I have very specific ideas about what the future of retention marketing will look like. Maybe I should let me finish one thought, then I'll get into that.
Yeah.
So first thing is that point is where you start using that dynamic content. If you were going to script that, you would really heavily lean on dynamic content. You're not going to script out everything you're going to say that far down, because when you, at the end of the year, when you take your emails and you kind of look at how much revenue every message has created, that one, because someone had to purchase twice before they got it, the revenue from that's going to be so small. You're going to go, why did I put so much effort into that? And why didn't I instead make a really awesome abandoned browse flow that hits so many people, because it hits pre-purchase?
I just love the brand loyalty. I've just had a really delightful experience with my favorite retailers yesterday, called thelasthunt.com, which sells amazing. It's like just a marketplace that sells like amazing high-end sporting gear at like 60% off quite often. Yeah. And there was a notification of it being like, more than one purchase that I made there. And I just thought I have a feeling that's going to deepen someone's LTV and relationship with the brand, where we can get there.
I would, absolutely that could work. It's not something I do a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Also because we're an agency, we have to set people up. They want results fast.
Yeah.
On the brand side, when you've got the time to sit back, scratch your chin, create those experiences, you have, like, on the brand side, so many resources.
Yeah. Or on a podcast, you just shoot off ideas and tell people, all the time. It's even easier. But I should stop derailing you. So keep us going on the post purchase.
We're going to talk about the future of retention.
Okay.
Right?
Let's go.
AI future of retention. By the way, this is not something we're doing right now. This is just my theory.
Okay.
Right? My theory is what you're going to see is just a digital assistant who will respond to you, that it understands what your next purchase is. Sorry, what your previous purchase was. Artificially understands what your previous purchase was, looks through the catalog, finds an interesting next item, but also includes the content about why that next item is correct. Oh, you bought, a navy suit. Okay, here's an Oxford shirt. Why would you follow up the navy suit with an Oxford shirt? Well, because it's a lighter shade of blue. You're going to get a nice blue on blue, and Oxford shirt has, this kind of fabric weave, etc. All that content exists online. The AI has all that content. Now, current recommendations, like out of Klaviyo, it will tell you Oxford shirt, because people are buying the Oxford shirt after they buy the navy suit. But it's not telling you why. And we have to do what we're going to discuss in a second. We have to script that ourselves. Yeah. And that will be inserted. That will be inserted by chat.
A concierge.
And it's not far away, but it's not there right now. It's not there that you can do it in scale. And when it's there and we can do it in scale, I will be an early adopter.
Shout out Hello Rep AI, a former sponsor of the podcast. They have a sales concierge that sort of like that recovers people that would otherwise bounce from the site and engages them in a dynamic way based on first party data.
Yeah. So what do you need to do? You need to hook that into the catalog and the previous purchase, so that the chat can go, this is what they bought. here are the best sellers. I will select a bestseller. Chat selects a bestseller, and I will write that out. And I mean, like what we've kind of just, if you build this, you're still going to get probably a good year out of it before you can do that. Before you can do what we're discussing at scale.
Yeah.
But around the bend, this stuff is going to be, old news.
Well, that's why we can be continually doing podcasts well into the future. We can stay on top of it.
I'll be back to discuss it as soon as I can.
Always nice to futurecast with you, though.
Yeah. All right, but back to today, right? There's no little Klaviyo plugin that just does what we just discussed. Yeah. So what do? Well, you can actually still get a whole lot done by thinking about, again, we're going to do this first, second, third message like we just discussed, but a different view. Okay? So
hold those real close if you can.
Oh, yeah, okay, sorry. So we've got your number 1 selling product by unit, right? Your number 2 selling product by unit, and other. So we're going to split everything up, okay, into just 3 categories. After your top 2 selling product, it's just getting too much. You're not getting a lot out of the effort, right? And we'll talk about in a second what happens if it's like if it's a catalog where it's just like long tail. There is a separate use case for long tail. So number 1 selling product. Remember that first email was educate, right? We want to create that positive first experience. Well, also, that's a perfect time to show people how to accessorize. Oh, you got the product, you opened it, you unboxed it, you did this, you did that. Hey, don't forget the cup holders, right? And sell those cup holders right there. Second email. Sell top selling product number 2. I mean, you can script whatever else you want. But again, we're trying to get large scale, large scope because we don't have chat right now doing this for us. So how do we do that? Just focus on the biggest buckets you have, which is top selling product 1 and 2. So go to sell product number 2. And
what about bundles in this? Are you going for a big AOV or are you trying to snipe your best products only?
I mean, there's the coupon slide is next. So we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, obviously a good question. Finally, though, the last one is blanket coupon. This is where I realize I've used this term twice incorrectly. I said blanket earlier, meaning send to your whole list. This is just, I should have called it open coupon. So it's like just, remember, we're trying to get any second purchase. Here, we're trying to get them to purchase the second product. Here, we're like, just come on, guys, anything. Product number 2. We're going to educate again. And while we're there, we're going to accessorize, right? Again, this one doesn't have the cup holders. This one has the umbrella attachment. So, hey, get that umbrella attachment for it, right? Email 2. You're going to sell top selling product number 1. So the scope for this is very wide because so many people are going to pass through this because so many people are going to order number 1 or number 2 product. So many people, right? Mm-hmm. And these 2 emails, sell product number 2, sell product number 1, you have some campaigns where you've done this. Just go and get those campaigns, right? Yeah. And repurpose them in your post-purchase. And by the way, repurpose them in your pre-purchase too. Like what I hate is campaigns, you build it once, you throw it away. It's like you're treating it like garbage. Whoa. It's good content. Take the evergreen ones, put them in your pre-purchase, your post-purchase. You put so much thought into those campaigns. And then blanket coupon. Notice, actually the same message. So we're being economical, right? And then other. This is easy. Sell product number 1, sell product number 2, blanket coupon. Again, we're using these messages again. We're being economical. I think we got 5 messages. We got 9 touch points out of those 5 messages. And then, so questions on that? Does that make sense?
Nope. No, all makes sense.
So you asked about how we do this, and offer optics are very important. And so offer optics is like 10% off $500. No one gets out of bed for 10%, but $50 is $50. Right? So how you show someone and how they kind of calculate that in their mind, and this is all like highly illogical. It's just like something happens and they react to it. You have to test through multiple offer optics, percent off, dollar total. It's like maybe that 10% doesn't make sense, but someone goes, oh, hey, it's only $100, right? You know, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That might be what does it. So bottom line, whether you bundle or don't bundle, I mean, part of it is offer optics. Also, the more complicated the coupon, the lower
Yeah.
the sell through, the lower the benefit to revenue. So on this blanket one that we did, the blanket coupon, I'd recommend that was just like 20% off any order, or 20% off any order above $50 or whatever it is, right?
Do you, this is it's funny. We're just about to release next week the Sean Frank talk from Ridge Wallet, CEO of Ridge Wallet, did a talk with us in Victoria, and he just off the cuff mentioned how I think it was like every month, every 30 days, he does what's called a funnel drain, where there's like anyone that was in a funnel for a specific product gets like a really aggressive, like up to 50% off to like just drain them out of that product's funnel to get them like into other things. What do you think of that strategy?
That's really hot, and the reason is if we go here on our email 2, follow me here. So first of all, email 1, I said no discount. Hold on to this drain. So email 1, I said no discount because it's accessories. They're low, but you know what? If you're doing like if you're selling a $50 tie that costs you $3 to produce, maybe you do a discount here, right? If your cup holders are like, $25 and cost you $3, okay, maybe you do want a discount here. But just because it's a lower selling point item, I just said, hey, don't discount here. Just educate and get them to purchase more, right? And then here, so email 2, I said 25% and 20%. So on the specific item, 25, of course, these percentages are totally variable depending on your margin. But the point is, this one's
Inventory,
bigger.
all of that. Yeah.
This one's a bigger discount on where you've scripted. This is what your next purchase should be, right? And then the last one is the 20% off. Why is this? Let's imagine, let's use the word essentials and seasonal. This is very fashion specific, but it would apply to all kinds of businesses. Some of the products you're selling for a short period of time.
Fall.
Some products.
I just did some fall clothing shopping last night.
Yeah, totally. Me too. Yeah. So some things you have for a short period of time, whether it's clothing, it might not be seasonal. It might be, we're only doing a run of this. We're doing one run and that's it. Okay. And then you've got things that are always on. Let's call them your essentials, right? So the thing about the essentials, there's great demand for them. Your largest revenue by total margin is probably going to come from your essentials. And then your other items, which might be your premium or your accessories or just kind of other stuff that's of interest. Look, that stuff is sometimes wider margin. You wouldn't do it. If it didn't have a wider margin than your essentials, you probably wouldn't even do it, right? So it usually has a good margin. But when you send out a blanket coupon, like or an open coupon, people are going to use it to buy up all your essentials. And once they've bought up all your essentials, they kind of don't need you anymore, right? So the neat thing about that funnel one is it says, it's a really good idea. So I'd love to chat with this guy. The neat thing about that is they have to purchase the product they were on. They can't use it to just go buy any product and fill up on all of your essentials and just be done with you. It's like, yeah, you were interested in the cup holder. Oh, here's a great discount in the cup holder, but you gotta buy the cup holder.
And in their case, it fits that, like, it is, they're not cheap things. I think they're $100 wallets or so. They do become like the object of someone's desire. They pick one that they want, right? So then it's like, okay, then they go back in the pool, they get pulled in by another one maybe, or, it's interesting.
So the one thing, I mean, I would want that system that the gentleman's using to be fully automated. I mean,
I'm sure it is, yeah.
I'm very against technical debt. So I don't want to do a funnel drainer that I have to like put that coupon together and send it out.
Each time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to build this. Essentially, it's like you're taking your browser band and having this really long wait step. And then like after a month, it's like just drain them. I think it's a great idea. So to close this off, again, so it makes sense, give them a good discount, but it's on the specific item, so they can't just use it for anything. If that doesn't work, give them still a good discount, but not as good a discount on anything. Get them to make that second purchase. Don't let them leave until they've made a second purchase. Product 2, same thing. Do the same thing, right? But it's just it's that different flow. And then on other, you do the great discount on item number 1, the great discount on item number 2, and then again, 20%, the open coupon at the end, right? So that's how we kind of organize the discounts. And whether it's a bundle or whatever, look, you got to just play around with that. That depends. Like, do your items go well together? If they don't go well together, don't push a bunch of bundles. It's just complicated coupons have like poor sell through. So don't add the complexity unless it really makes sense, to you or your customer. Another quick little view, different color. This one's different. This is the long tail business, right? Where best-selling item number 1 and item number 2 are like 10% of your sales. It's like, well, okay, all right, well, doing all this scripting, again, scope and scale. Your scope and scale will be horrible if top selling items number 1 and number 2 don't do anything. This is more of your Amazon business we were discussing. So this is really simple. Recommendations, UGC, right? Blanket coupon, open coupon. And then email 2, coupon reminder. Email 3, coupon last chance. Really, really easy, right? Yep. Just let the dynamic content. You can put recommendations here too if you want, but just let the dynamic content do its job. And again, you're going to have more emails with dynamic content going out because you're going to have a nice continuation flow, like we discussed a few videos back. So this one's special because those ones, the continuations, don't have a discount. So when you say recommendation, coupon, reminder, recommendation, last chance, recommendation, it's special because it's got that discount that they're not getting from your other messages.
Fantastic.
SMS. Okay, so look, mirror each message. This is simple. Just all those messages we did. Don't worry about how much it's costing to send messages because this is post-purchase. So it's such a small number of messages sent. Every single one, mirror it. Will you have to? Will that force you to use static coupons rather than dynamic coupons? If you do, you need to go in and change those coupon codes on a regular basis because otherwise they're going to go to coupon sites and you're just giving a permanent discount. So obviously try not to use static coupons, but maybe this forces you to. Maybe you make a decision because you can't use static in your SMS that you're going to not mirror on SMS. Just think something to consider. And then let the landing page do the work. So SMS, all the things we discussed, it's not going to happen in SMS. So let the landing page do the work. SMS, some of our clients are like 40% of their revenue.
Or email too, right? You just remember what the job of the medium is, right? It is to get that click, to get you into the deeper down the purchase experience. Never forget that.
Right? And then when they get on the site, triggers the site abandon, the browse abandon, all that ecosystem gets triggered once they're on the site. And
your
also,
AI concierge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So landing page. This is where, look, that educational content, develop the educational content you did. So what do I imagine? Again, I did this again. I'm not a very visual guy. I should have gone to one of my designers and put this together. You get this educational email and it's teaching you how to use the thing, boom, 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 and then it's going, oh, and buy the cup holder, oh, and buy the umbrella, whatever it is, right? Buy the widget for it. So as it's teaching you how to do it, it's showing you, telling you, and it will be so much better with the blue widget. So make sure you get the blue widget. Well, let's go here and let's expand that content. Talk about more about proper use. You might actually take every section from the email and put an expanded version. You could do a read more in the email and kind of go right there, anchor tag to it with expanded content. And on that page, you merchandise. So remember, one of them was accessories. You merchandise the accessories. You also should have a landing page for the specific item. Sell item number 1, sell item number 2, and merch it. So go through again pain point resolution, features and benefits, whatever you're doing here, and then merchandise it. Right? Don't put the coupon here. Have the coupon dynamic in the email. They come here. They got the coupon from the last one.
Auto-loaded at checkout, or you can't really do that.
If you whatever, just don't have a big code written there, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever. I mean, I guess unless you want no one to browse to this page from elsewhere on the site, you can build this page so no one can browse to it. But why would you do that? Why not Why not create content that people can browse to because this is educational content.
It makes sense. How often at this point, like, are we most of the time then building out landing pages that we click through from emails, or are people sending to their PD? I guess you could simulate it by sending to the homepage versus the PDP if you're not in the landing page building step. Or do we now pretty reliably build landing pages for each of these interactions?
Well, okay. So remember, some things. What do we want to do? We want to have a faster first purchase, faster second purchase.
Yep.
So all the things that are the ecosystem around first purchase and second purchase, you put so much effort and time into, which is why we have these landing pages. If it's a reactivation email or just no, you're not going to make I mean, maybe, but it'd be one landing page for 24 different reactivation emails, right? You don't put all that effort in there. You want to get them to click, maybe get into like a browse abandon or a site abandon.
Yep.
You could conceivably create a custom landing page for that browse and site abandon because you do know those messages get used multiple times. I've looked at accounts where half of the traffic into site abandon, half of the emails sent are from people whose first activity date was more than 120 days ago. So you know those are going to get used multiple times. Since it's got used multiple times, even though it's not specifically pre and post purchase, you can devote that effort into it. But again, scope and scale. You want to put your time in where it's going to have the largest benefit and capture the largest number of people.
I love it. I'm also feeling like we should create an AI, we should start speccing out an AI tool for email and just start a little SaaS business. What do you think of that?
We're certainly tooling around with that.
Yeah.
Right? But we're not launching a product to the world right now. But of course, we are doing our work researching how to use artificial intelligence to improve customer retention for the future.
Wow, super exciting! There's again a lot of information in this one. I'm excited we've gotten a lot of good feedback on this stuff so far. Any parting words on getting these two ecosystems as you describe them?
Yeah. I mean, look, that scope and scale thing, I know I said it 4 times, but I delivered an audit today where someone had 85 automated emails. The top 20 automated emails were like 80%. It was perfect 80-20. 80% of the revenue, 89% of the 80% of the traffic, 89% of the attributed revenue came from 20 of the 85 emails. It was the most perfect 80-20 I've ever seen, but it's always something like that.
Yeah.
People are creating, so here's the example. It was specific. It was actually main product and accessories. So there was a separate message for the accessories. When we analyzed, the separate message for accessories didn't really do any better than the first email, but you've got twice the technical debt. So the same result for twice the technical debt. Why did you get the same result? Because you took your audience, split it in half, right? And then they had hard-coded the outcome, right? And remember, here we hard-coded the outcome because it was the biggest buckets. Yeah. These are the 2 biggest buckets you have. But you'll see it where something gets branched 5 or 6 different ways for different product categories. And all you got to do at home, at home in your pajamas, just get a spreadsheet, pull the results of those messages, the specific messages, and look at what's going on. And you're going to find that this stuff down here is doing nothing. It's like doing nothing. All the action is up here where you get the largest scope and the largest scale. So before, at home in your PJs, before you go and build 5 or 6 messages because it makes sense, because you feel like you're getting coverage, build the first one, right, which is general for everything, and then branch one out for your biggest product, right? And see, hey, does this actually improve anything? Because now that it's specific, you're not using dynamic stuff anymore. The dynamic stuff, it shows what it knows the user wants. You're like, okay, you're saying, I'm going to be smarter than the machine. I'm going to pull something off, try to sell it specifically, it can, because you are being more specific, prove that it actually improves the results. Okay, all right, leave it there, then do another one. Don't just build a whole bunch of stuff. You'll see, I said 5 messages 9 touch points. So I kept this very constrained, where all the action is, where I know you'll get results at home, and do that. And then get a core like you say, experience or ecosystem working, and then branch out from there, and you will have much better results. And you'll also have less technical debt, easier to update your email system in future as things change. When I come back here and we talk about AI, it'll be easier to swap out what you're doing.
Love it.
Yeah?
Wonderfully put, Jordan. Thanks for coming on today again, bud.
Have a good day.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you're not getting the D2C newsletter, you can subscribe for free at directtoconsumer.co. And if you want to learn more about Pilot House's all-killer, no-filler services, take off to pilothouse.co. I'm Eric Dick, and this has been the D2C Podcast. We'll see you next time.